Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I am Ben, no Liam this week. Busy week for him, some wrestling stuff, a couple of other things. This weekend he had an event he was going to, but it got rained out on him. So he was a little bummed, but we all hung out this weekend. And kind of just took a nice holiday weekend. He went to the movies. And saw, what movie did he see? Haunted Mansion. Played some video games with Megan. Beat Corey. Interesting game, horror-based decision making. So they beat that. And then I hung out with baby Sophie a lot this weekend. If you guys go onto Instagram, you can see parts 1 and part 2 of our weekend with pics. Went to the splash pad, we went to the park, so no Liam this week. So he was bummed, but he will be back next week for sure to hang out with everybody. But today, I don't like to talk by myself, so I made a couple of phone calls today and decided it's like who's available, and then I was like, oh, holiday, I bet she's off. So I called this person. She, a little bit about her. Awesome person. I think it's really cool. I've known her for a few years, but growing up, like, this lady admired me. Like, I was like, maybe like, I think it was like one of her only like male figures. But then I was also like the cool guy who was like in the know or just like super interesting and like probably the coolest guy she knew for years. But she was also there years ago at the old house on Michigan. She saw a bunch of shenanigans, and she hung out. But this person, super interesting, is in a unique position because the beginning of our relationship, she looked up to me and admired me. But now today, roles kind of changed a little bit because she's a pretty cool person. I admire a lot of the things that she's done over the last couple of years. And we are talking about my sister, Nicki. Hello, Nicki.
Hi.
We got Nicki here because this weekend was her birthday.
I want to give you such a hard time for being so boastful, Mr. Ego.
These are the truths. I was the coolest person.
I will give you. You were my main male role model of sorts, and you were into a lot of shenanigans that I witnessed.
We had, I would borrow some snacks from work. So she was always like sneaking into my private hidden fridge, taking all of my snacks, my cheesecakes.
No, I wanted to steal your cheesecakes, but I was afraid you were going to hit me if I did.
We mentioned growing up with Rhiannon a little bit. We were not super nice to her.
Nah, y'all were evil.
We were evil. So we will talk more about the early days. But today, this weekend, it was birthday weekend. So I don't know if we ever talked about it or if it was on our episode 0 that we did for his mom. But the idea of the podcast came from the car recordings, and then I also did a sit-down interview with Liam on his birthday, and we kind of just asked a couple of questions about the year, what he's looking for in the future, and I thought you're the first birthday that had come up since we started podcasting, so we got JJ coming up next month, so I'm going to test some of these questions on you, but I think it's kind of a really fun idea to kind of look back next year on your birthday, and I can pull some clips from today, some of your answers, and be like, here's what you said last year, and then here's what we have this year.
I feel like at this age, it can't change that much. You're bound to get way more gold with the younger ones.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well,
I don't know. You could have a midlife crisis at some point.
Oh, something to look forward to.
I don't know. Maybe you got a new job prospects coming up. But Nicki, her birthday was this weekend. She did some really cool things for us at Chasing the Whimsy. She painted us some Pix rocks. And she, all weekend, I've been trying to put them on Instagram. She just told me that she's never worked with Instagram before.
Nope, but I'm learning. I've posted some pictures with pics too.
It is super, like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and you guys could tell by following my feed. It looks good to me, but then I scroll through the feed. I'm like, oh, these are all like really good, but you could tell a 40-year-old man who's never done it is like playing around on Instagram. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it. Are you only Instagramming for some CTWs, some chasing the whimsy and pics?
Yeah. I know I had the account, but I never used it. I definitely am using it to post my pics.
Do you find since the podcast and since you did these rocks that you are like oddly more creative? Like because you're always painting rocks, but now that's like whimsy related. Are you going to get more creative with whimsy stuff?
At the risk of bursting your bubble, probably not.
She's like, you got the rocks, you're done.
Well,
no more.
No, I say that because, are you familiar with Flat Stanley?
No, Flat Stanley.
Okay, so Flat Stanley is a children's book, a series of children's books, and it's about a little boy who gets flattened like a bulletin board, or by his bulletin board, so he's thin as paper. And then his family mails him. And then through the series of books, he travels around the world via envelope because it's cheaper than plane tickets.
Right.
So I've done this. It's like spawned a whole classroom project. So I've done this with students. And then at my school in the summers, we take our mascot and we do pictures in the summers. Like, where were your teachers? Right. What were they doing? And we take pictures with our mascot. So coming up with creative...
Can't sneak a little pics in there too?
Well, I have. He was doing crossing duty with me at school. So... I mean, I have experience, I guess, trying to come up with like creative and fun places to put the little character. So it's kind of a continuation of things that I've done. Okay. But it's fun. We enjoy it. Okay. JJ's gotten into it and posed a couple pictures as well.
Oh, very cool. I've only I'm working with Liam trying to find like creative ways to get it out there, and like JJ mentioned it, Liam's mentioned it. They're like, we want to be famous, and I'm like, we don't just record an episode and you're famous tomorrow. Like, we gotta get stuff out there. So like, I got the Instagrams that I'm trying. I got the Twitters I'm trying. I don't understand Twitter at all. But I'm working on like some small comic strips. We get the tokens. I'm just looking at I'm just finding different ways to be creative with this whimsy idea here.
And that's why I made you the rocks.
Those are so
because
cool.
Painting rocks is something that I do. And they're always tagged with a QR code so that you can find the Facebook group and like post pictures of what you find.
Okay.
But for yours, I put the QR code that takes you straight to Spotify, and I put your Twitter and your Instagram handles on it. So people, if you leave it in kind of a random place and people are curious, they pick up this rock. What is this gnome? Flip it over and they can, scan or look you up.
Very cool. I'm excited. I loved him. I gave Sophie one. So she's carrying it around. Because we gave her one of the tokens, but we're like, maybe she'll lose it. So we gave her a slightly bigger rock, so she's enjoying it.
I think that's a good call.
All right. So birthday weekend, what'd you do?
We had brunch, and I took JJ on a play date because he has a bestie, and he loves spending time with her on the weekends. They don't go to school together. So we facilitated a play date, and then she stayed, and more family came over. We had dinner and cake. Sunday we went bowling and out to dinner.
Anything happened while you were bowling?
I set a new personal best bowling score.
Of what?
If you have bowlers listening to this, they're going to laugh at me.
There's no bowlers.
I bowled a 178, which is a lifetime high for me.
That is awesome. I like bowling. We used to bowl a lot.
We did. I grew up in that bowling alley.
I keep thinking I want to try bowling again, but I'm old. And I sweat. I sweat like a crazy person.
It's because you're old. JJ asked if I knew anybody that had ever bowled a perfect 300.
I have not.
You have not?
I have not.
Okay, well, I told him I think you had, so don't burst his bubble.
287.
287.
Front 10. Like 7 spares. Something stupid. It was lame.
Heartbreaking.
It was a little heartbreaking, but it was the first time. So obviously you're a little bit nervous and shaky, and yeah, I tugged it, and I was like, whew, and it was done. Um,
What about your dad? He's a bowler too.
he's a bowler. I think.
Has he done a 300? I feel like he has to.
I think he has. He does not, because Uncle used to make fun of him because he didn't. Because Uncle had one, Dad did not.
All right, don't burst JJ's bubble.
Okay.
I told him I thought you had.
All right, everything I know is a lie.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, you mentioned JJ, so you are JJ's mom. Mm-hmm. How's it being a mom?
Exhausting.
It is.
It's awesome. It's everything and nothing you ever thought it would be at the same time. I've always been very open before having JJ. I wanted my own baseball team. I was going to have all these boys. And then I had JJ and I was like,
Never mind.
So I'm done. We're good. One is enough. I love him dearly, but I can't keep doing that. That was enough.
Birthdays. Are you one of those type that were like, it's your birthday week, so it's all about me, it's all Nicki? Or are you more of a somebody else's birthday? Let's focus on those guys.
Oh, I will totally focus on everybody else. Right. I don't seek a lot of the attention. I don't want the spotlight. I don't have my birthday on like the staff, birthday shout out list for a reason now.
You're a hider of the birthday?
Yeah, I don't need people to like acknowledge all of me. I'm good. I'll celebrate other people though.
Yeah, I quit hiding my birthday for like a while. Like there's people at work that are like, "It's your birthday?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then there's one year I completely spaced that I was 36. So I missed that whole year. So yeah, I'm not real big on birthdays, but I'll go big for birthdays on some people. What are some of your biggest like birthdays that you did for somebody else? You ever go crazy?
For somebody else, for sure. My girlfriend on her 40th, I did a cameo of Jim Cummings, who is the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I got her a cameo of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger singing happy birthday to her and wishing her a happy birthday.
And he did it with both voices?
He did it with both voices and like stuffed animals.
That is so cool.
Oh, it was epic. And then I put that on a thumb drive that I had etched with her name and an image of Winnie the Pooh in a box that was etched with Winnie the Pooh. And then I did one of those ridiculously fancy, beautiful birthday cakes. I think it was 2 tiers, and it was decorated like the 100-acre wood. And at the top, she did 40-acre wood, and it had the little, all the characters, and it was decorated in the style of like an illustration. It was gorgeous.
I bet you she is not real. Is she big on her birthday? She doesn't come across as like, it's my birthday, everybody, hey, pay attention to me.
Somewhere in between.
Okay.
She's not downplaying it like I am, but not in your face about it. But it was really cool.
Oh man, now everybody there's like no one can ever beat that.
I know, right? I was like, I'm going to need you to tamper your expectations for 41, 42. Like, let's be clear. That was 40. That was a BFD.
We'll hit all the big zeros. Like we'll do something, we'll go there and see the guy for 50. But between now and then, a card. Yeah. I'll maybe make you some cookies.
Or order them.
Her birthday's coming up, I think, too.
Yes.
You think she'd come on?
Yeah, I'm sure if you invite her.
All right, that'd be cool. Yeah, we have she came to the open house, and she's been super supportive of the podcast, and she's the one that helped inspire me with the tokens, the wooden tokens, and the gnome theme.
The original pocket gnome.
Yes, and I still carry him in my pocket. I'll put a picture of him on Instagram and on the blog.
Such a random thing that we were Christmas shopping just at a craft fair, and this lady had these cute little wooden tokens, and they had different animals and things, but she saw the gnome and she knew you liked gnomes, so she had to get you the gnome. I think JJ got a puppy one too, but like your love of gnomes, and it took hold with you.
All right, so you're looking at my gnome. So normally they come in like glued to a little index card with a cute little saying, like, right? So what do I do with my pocket gnome? What does he look like right now?
What do you mean? What does he look like?
He's encased in a
Oh.
protective cover.
Yes. Because normal people would just put it in their pocket, wallet, purse. You ordered is this probably a coin protector for serious coin collectors?
It is a coin. Yes.
Yes. And then the interior, I can tell you, it's like some kind of foam to hold your coin in place. And you custom cut the shape
I did.
of your pocket gnome out of it. And you have since gotten another one for
Pics.
For pics.
Because, like, just as a wooden token, I don't want them to fall out of my pocket. So, the original pocket gnome was Richard. Mm-hmm. And I got him in like 2018-ish. And he was in my pocket every day. But between like change and keys and in and out, like he started to like all of his paint is wearing. So he looked like he spent a year in a pocket. So I was like, man, I wish I had something I could put him in. But because he was like a little figurine, there's nothing to put him in. So I retired Richard. And then when I got this new guy, I was like, oh, I'm going to put him in a coin protector.
It's smart.
It is.
It makes sense because I'm carrying around my wooden one, and I slid it into my wallet, which Edwin calls the dad wallet because I have the dad wallet in the relationship.
All the receipts, a million credit cards.
But a lot of cards. Not a million credit cards. I'm a responsible spender, but there's tons of other junk in there. Oh. So it's a very thick wallet, and now my Pix is in there because I don't know where else to put them without feeling like I'm going to lose them.
I know, right? So I got some new ideas with some new gnomes coming in. So I emailed. I have a image guy. So I emailed him. I was like, I need some new gnomes. So we're gonna work on a gnome for Kelly, and then I got some holiday ideas.
I did notice you switched from like the bearded gnome to one with braids. That was like a little girl one.
That was Sophie.
That was for Sophie.
That was
I noticed
Sophie
that.
gnome. That was on Instagram when I did 30 seconds with Sophie.
I noticed the change. It was cute.
So this guy's. I'd have to find his name again, and I'll put it in on the comments for this episode. But they're super cheap. That was my Pokemon thing that just Pika at us. But yeah, he's like, he has all the images saved. So I'm like, so this is like probably the fourth order I've had with this guy. So I just email him now and I'm like, hey, can I get a mom gnome? So he knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, I need a mom gnome. And then I'm like, I need another gnome, with different color hair. And I need one in instead of a pocket inside one of these things. And, and then that's what I did with Pix. I'm like, I need one holding a camera.
This guy's got to love your business.
I know. It's so much fun. So I'm just having a good time. Oh, I had images brought up with all the gnomes not in pockets. So now I have an orange hat gnome just standing.
Oh,
I'm
cute.
like, all right. Because you never know. You never know what you need to do with them.
Sure.
What is your favorite birthday that you've had? Let's do birthday present and then birthday. Like maybe the present was good, but this experience is way better.
Oh man, that requires some thought.
I know. And I called you an hour and a half ago and was like, I'm on my way over.
Okay, present. This is probably silly, but I loved it. It was a phone case I found. But it was super simple, rubber case shape. And then it had different shades of wood cut into puzzle pieces inlaid in it. So it looked like a puzzle made of different shades of wood.
And that would have been like, what, 15, 16? Like 2015, 16? Like maybe a little bit earlier?
I'd go a little bit earlier. Yeah, it was definitely before JJ was born that I got my first case. And then I had gotten that case again for a new phone later on, and that company doesn't make them like that anymore. But it was one of my very, very favorite, simple, just the puzzle pieces were very symbolic. The shades of wood, it was just beautiful. Silly, simple, but I love that thing.
Awesome. And birthday experience?
Probably not the year I think you shoved my head into the cake.
Which would have been 8?
It would have been 8, yep, 2nd grade. We were in, I don't know, Idaho. Or no, you said we were in Reno. I don't know. Which
is funny because I don't remember a lot of my birthdays, but for whatever reason, this is the birthday I remember.
Because you made me cry, you jerk.
I did make her cry because that's the kind of brother I was.
Okay, so that's not my favorite. Favorite birthday? That's hard.
I know. I was there for your 21st.
Yeah.
I took you out for a drink.
I was pretty proud of 21. I was a heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
12 shots and 2 fruity drinks in my 2-hour power hour. And then I walked out of the bar. Not only did I walk out of the bar, I woke up early the next morning to go have breakfast with Rhiannon.
Whatever.
I can't drink like that anymore. But I could back then, apparently.
Who knows, I guess, right?
Let's see. Last year, amusingly, Sandy got my years mixed up and thought I was 35 last year. So around work, because we worked together.
So one's 1 year ahead and mom's 1 year behind.
Yeah, basically. She had hidden or distributed 35 different notes and pictures around campus, like with various people. And I would just go throughout my workday and people would hand them to me. And so over the course of the day, I collected all these pictures and little notes. And then she had given me a mini photo album so I could put them all in it. So that was pretty sweet.
When did she realize that she had one too many?
Somewhere fairly early on. And it was just kind of funny because she's like, so next year I'm going to need you to not have 35 expectations. You're going to need to have 34 expectations. I was like, that's fair enough.
Take the one from last year as the one for this year. Oh, very cool.
But that was a cool experience.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of birthdays.
I think, I don't know. They kind of...
Like, did I do anything crazy? Like, we had the birthday where we jumped off the roofs. But I don't remember, like, any big birthdays. I was never really big on, like, the party. I was real big on can I have, like, 3 guys come over, we play video games and order a pizza.
Right. We didn't do parties as kids. Right. That wasn't like a thing we did.
Well, because mom was always like, you can have one or the other. You can have the big gift that you want, or you can have a party. I'm not giving you both.
Right.
So we're like, nah, duh.
Gift.
And
as a teenager, I spent a lot of my birthdays at the bowling alley.
We did. Man, I was there for a while. Like, I hung out there a lot before I worked there. Oh, maybe you can answer this question. How many times was I fired from the bowling alley? I want to say 3. Like,
I was going to go 2.
2 and then I quit?
Maybe.
I think.
Like 3 separate employments, yes. But you left that last one on your terms.
My terms. And like, I don't even know why I left, because like I was working there when I started working at the other place. And I was like, oh, I don't even want to be we worked at the other place together.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on your next episode. But I don't know why. Like a lot of this has really got me thinking about like the past and everything else. And now I'm just realizing there's so much stuff I don't remember. Those large chunks of years.
Were you on drugs?
No, oddly enough, I wasn't. I was working a lot.
You did work a lot. You've always worked a lot, though. You have always worked a lot.
Worked a lot. I did drink a lot in my 22 to 24s. But even
as a teenager, you had multiple jobs, like, which was weird.
I was always,
Yes.
I was always doing something. I needed that money. I don't know what it was.
To do what with?
I don't know.
Clearly not buy your drugs.
No, man. I was high on life. No, I was I think I was kind of a square for like the most part, kind of nerdy.
No, you had a reputation.
Yay!
You were cool guy Ben. I hate to admit it.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. So you are 35.
Yes.
So earlier in the week, you were 34. All right. So for 34, what was your favorite movie that you saw in your 34 year?
I'm not a big movie person. I can't even think if I went to the theater.
Do you have a event or concert or play that didn't you guys go to the Broadway theater? That could have been 2 years ago. I have no idea.
I feel like I have to scroll backwards through my calendar. That's how horrible I am at remembering. We did do the Broadway theater. I don't know, was that in the last year? That was fun. We did a game show where it was like the contestants were a live audience in front of a game show.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was really cool.
No, is that the Broadway theater?
Mm-hmm. I also think we saw, I want to say Rent was in the last year.
Oh, very cool.
The farewell tour.
You did that one at the college?
That was at Madison Center.
Okay.
I think we saw that one. I want to say that might have been about a year ago because it was a birthday present.
Oh, very cool. If it's, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
What kind of music are you listening to this year? Or when you were 34?
I think I alternate between mostly hip hop or alternative with some musicals mixed in for good measure. a lot of Greatest Showman soundtrack lately.
Man,
it's a good one.
It is good. And then I watched the behind the scenes stuff, and then I cry a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I was, because you sent me the guy who told his story about how he saved the show, and that was super fun.
Yes.
Because then we fell down a small rabbit hole together for a day. We're crying because we're looking at old Girl Meets World videos and whatever else.
Definitely a YouTube rabbit hole.
Yes.
All the nostalgia.
What's your favorite show tunes, movie, or you said musicals? What are your favorite musical soundtracks? What's on the rotation on the playlist?
A lot of Greatest Showman, Rent, obviously. I will always love the sound of music.
You and Mom, man.
Did
you get that from her?
Yes, because that's what we grew up watching.
When we get so Rhiannon's coming back in mid-October, and we're gonna get the four of us, you, me, her, and Liam. And one of the things I want to talk about are like, what did we get from Mom? Because like there's certain movies or certain somethings like Rhiannon loves Cher because of Mom.
Yep.
And then it's like, what do I love because of Mom?
I was gonna add Burlesque. I don't think it's as widely known, but it's got Cher and it's got Christina Aguilera, and that only in the last, I'd say, 2 years came to my even knowledge. I had never heard of it before, but I fell in love with that when I watched it.
No Sweeney Todd?
No thanks. Ben traumatized me with Sweeney Todd.
Nicki, you want to go to a movie? What movie? Sweeney Todd. She's like, that looks scary. I said, no. It's Tim Burton. Johnny Depp. I'm like, it's Nightmare Before Christmas scary.
That was not Nightmare Before Christmas scary for me.
She got out and she was like, I hate you.
I don't do spooky very well.
I also enjoy the show tunes. Same as yours. I don't know. I'll pick any random musical. Sophie watching a lot of Disney stuff, so I got some Disney thrown in some of mine.
We went and saw The Lion King on stage. I think that was a little more than a year ago because that was Grandma's birthday. It was just over a year ago.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
But that was great. I mean, you can't go wrong with any Lion King music. Mm-mm. And it was amazing on stage. Wicked has a good.
Different.
I was gonna say Wicked has a good soundtrack, but I've never seen it on stage.
We should go see it.
But I can sing a lot of the songs.
Does JJ like musicals?
I'm not sure.
When did you fall in love with musicals? Sound of Music?
Sound of Music.
Okay.
And we watched a lot of Grease when we were growing up.
We did.
So, you had a lot of Grease going on in our
Grease.
house.
Do you like Grease 1 better than 2?
1 is way better than 2.
Is it blasphemous if we say I like 2 better than 1?
I will allow it because we grew up watching it a lot.
We did watch it a lot.
But 1 is better to me.
It is definitely not. Let's see. Favorite moment of the year? Anything that defined the year? Podcasting is defining my 40. Check.
No, I feel like here in the middle 30s, it all kind of blends together.
It really does.
It's just kind of been one year after another.
Which is good. Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Everybody's healthy and happy.
Absolutely. I love my job. I love my family. I think it's all good. We don't need to define it or set any parts of it aside. We're good.
So when you talk to your older self and you're like, okay, hold on. That might be a different question. Let me see what else I have. I can't even read my handwriting. I wrote some notes so I can try to keep on track here a little bit. I got nothing. Do you have any goals for 35? Personal, I don't know what word it is for work.
Professional.
Professional.
Oh, my Lanta, Ben.
I used to be your idol.
Idol's a strong word. You will always be my big brother, though.
I used to, like, do you look back now and be like, oh my God, I think he was always that stupid?
Maybe a little. I did just ask if you were on drugs that whole time.
I was not. I didn't, never smoked weed and didn't really have, any, for the most part, I was always working, so I couldn't do anything. I was always pretty responsible with that kind of stuff. But man, I can't remember anything.
I would say professional, no. I like my job.
Write that down. Professional is that word.
Personal, I have an ongoing goal to just do better at self-care, taking care of myself, because I put a lot of people ahead of me.
Okay.
You know, in the airplane, the proverbial, you have to put your own mask on kind of thing.
Right.
I don't usually take care of my own mask, so.
You get the one next to you, the one behind you, you're checking on the
Is
stewardess.
everybody okay? Okay, now I'll take care of myself. So probably just continuing. It's an ongoing goal. I mean, no one's perfect, but continuing to do that.
All right. Did you learn anything in your 34 year?
Trust is easy to build sometimes, but dang, can it be shattered real fast.
Right? So weird. You have years of a relationship and trust, and then all of a sudden, gone.
It doesn't take much, which is heartbreaking.
All right. Hey, that's a good thing to learn. And I'm going to ask you to talk to yourself and give you a message for next year. From Nicki to Nicki.
It is not worth the energy to hold hatred or negativity.
Boom. I like it. All right. Well, I think that's most of my birthday questions. Do you have anything that you want to add birthday related?
I think there's nothing wrong with celebrating yourself, but it's super fun to make a big deal out of other people and make sure they feel worth it.
I agree. I've done some weird stuff. For whatever reason, whatever girl I was interested at said time, I go crazy for them. There's one girl I was I go crazy elaborate. I was like, all right, so she likes this some bar. I don't know, some cowboy bar. So I called the manager. I was like, hey, do me a favor. Here's her number. Here's her email. Call her and email her and tell her that she won, quote unquote, won a free birthday party for 10. And then he's like, huh? I'm like, trust me. So he plays it off like someone entered her name into a drawing, and then she had the whole birthday thing. But because I'm the cool, I got problems, and we'll eventually talk about it. But it was a party that I wasn't technically invited to because I didn't mix with a couple of the people there. So I go through this elaborate birthday, set it up, and then I got to pay for the stupid thing. And I'm like,
You footed the bill to a party you weren't invited to. Ouch.
Man, we have to unpack this one day, but I'm a mess.
I have a really good therapist if you're interested.
I have one. I should probably talk to him more than just a half hour every other month.
I would consider upping that, yeah.
I think I'm good now, man. I'm back on track. No more crazies.
You just got some unpacking to do.
It's a mess. Do you like this idea of recording your birthday?
Yeah.
We can get Sandy next. We got JJ coming up next month.
JJ, yeah.
Edwin is
July.
We just missed him. Mm-hmm. So he could have been the first one.
Could have.
Sorry, Edwin. You can be the last one.
Did you do grandma or sister in June?
Man, I'm just dropping the ball everywhere.
It's a new thing.
No, because we didn't start until July.
Okay.
Was it July 10th or something like that? So they could be the lasts.
Okay.
No, Edwin's still the last because we got the June, and then July. All right, very cool. I'm excited to hear JJ.
He's got a lot to say.
He has a lot to say.
A lot to say.
JJ and Liam get so much praise on this podcast. Like, they love how just like innocent but just brutally honest JJ is, because he is this like, this is what I want to talk about, here's what we're doing, and people are just loving it.
He's not old enough to have a filter. There's no filtering.
Yeah, like I'm chit-chatting, I'm emailing people, I'm like, hey, what you guys like, how you guys doing? They're like, we love JJ, we love Liam. I'm like, well, what about the other guy? Who? I'm like, but I think that's all I have for you for now. We got some new episodes coming, a lot of new ideas coming. So we'll get Liam back next weekend. We'll get JJ on again soon, and then we got some secret projects with JJ coming out. So it's a very fun year with the podcast, and a lot of really fun ideas coming up. So keep following us on the internets, the Twitter, which is Chase the Whimsy, Instagram, Chasing the Whimsy. A lot of stuff on Instagram. Like, I'm just posting stuff. Like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but I'm just fucking just putting it on there.
I'm learning too.
It's fun. Like, it's simple enough. Like, it took me I'm the guy who's like, hey, younger person, can you tell me what the difference is between post and reel?
I definitely had that moment this week at work.
And it's like, oh, that makes sense. But I am having fun with the whole editing aspect of it, because you get your like the 4 pictures, and then you find a song that goes all the way across, and then you can add the text and the different animations and effects all the way through. So I'm enjoying the like low key editing aspects of it. Super fun.
Yeah, I agree. I toyed with a couple of those features this weekend. I found a funny song with pigs eating the onion.
Oh yes.
It was a funny sounding song. I don't know.
The bloomin' onion.
Which is funny because I typed the word Australian, not food or onion, and that's what it gave me.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have to do too, is because like, I don't know. What I started doing is, like, as I listen to other people's Instagrams, if I hear a song, I save the song, because I always get stuck. I'm like, I don't know what song to use, but I did like that one from like 3 days ago, and then maybe I can start like filtering out like my top 10s.
You know what's interesting is when I scroll, my sound is always off.
Yes, you have to unmute it.
No, like on purpose. Like, I don't want to listen to all the random sounds, so I will turn the volume on when it's caught my attention and I want to know what's happening. I wonder if that makes me odd.
I watch all mine because I watch them at work, so there's no sound on the work computer, so I'll just watch stuff. So I get in this weird habit of just watching stuff with no sound.
All right, so in the comments for this episode, I want to know, when you are what we call doom scrolling through the videos, reels, or what have you, is your volume on or off?
Ooh, I think I know how to make a poll on the question. Definitely on the SoundCloud, but definitely tweet us or email us or Instagram us. The wooden tokens, they're almost all gone.
Already?
I had 50 of them, and I'm down to the last 8. So anybody listening, email me at whimsy@chasingthewhimsy.com. Email me if you're interested, so I can lock up a couple. I do have some fun ideas coming up, so I'm going to try to put in a new order, but I will not be getting such a large order of just those two, the logo gnomes and pics. I'll probably get more pixes than the logos. So any of you guys listening, and you plan to continue to listen, you want to be a completist, you're going to want these logo gnomes. Can't say yet, but I don't think that logo is going to stay. I think we're going to do some changes to the logo. So once I change the logo, you'll never get these logo gnome tokens back.
So I can sell mine in the future and turn a profit.
What is like the craziest thing in the world is like telling Steve Dave does this where like they have patches made and they give them out when they were at the secret stash, and then people go online and instantly they're like, boom, $75, and people are buying this stuff up. So I need you guys to start buying some of this stuff so we can start reselling it on the aftermarket. But yeah, we got some really cool ideas. I have a blog on the website, chasingthewhimsy.com. I will be updating it tomorrow-ish, the next day and a half, with a new idea that I've been working on. I found an artist to help create this idea with me, and those will go on the website exclusively, with the exception with I'll probably Instagram it once, but kind of get them out there a little bit. So definitely follow us on the website. Subscribe on the bottom, because as we come up with more content and more stuff and new ideas, I put you guys on the mail list, or you can read the blogs, which are super interesting. I think the third blog, Jay Sarge commented on, so shout out to Jay Sarge. He was the guy who did the Tell 'em Steve Dave music. I emailed him a couple times. He's a super cool guy.
Very cool.
I'm gonna see if I can get him on. I don't know. I'm just looking now. I'm like, no joke. I'm online. I'm like Googling like who can I have on. And so I'm like, I think have William tell you the Instagram story about how this happened. But Ming Chen said that he would come back and he's gonna do our episode 37.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
specifically 37, like you counted that far, or is that a special number?
that is a special number because his email address is mingchen37.
Okay.
But 37 has a special place within the VSQ universe. So if you're interested, you could bring that up with Liam when we have the sisters on.
Okay.
Ooh, I wonder if he would actually tell you.
Is it a secret?
Ooh, it's definitely 13-year-old inappropriate that he knows.
This is my not shocked self.
But I thank everybody for hanging out today. Nicki, thank you for coming.
That was super fun and my pleasure. Thanks, Ben. Whimsy.